about
Do
the things
not,
in my house.
yeah,
I say
what they're trying. Listen, there is common ground, but only because we're both made in the image of God and we live in God's world through God's grace. But that's not what he's talking about. Okay?
that's right.
What he wants to say is there's neutral territory, that there's overlapping beliefs that's neutral. Wrong. Okay? Every putative fact, okay? Every putative fact will only be actual and intelligible in virtue of the ultimate that it derives from.
What do you mean by putative?
Putative means asserted.
So asserted based on what, though? Just
Putative means it's attributed to be.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for example, Donald Trump is the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party. Okay. Putative means it is somebody stating it as that it's a fact. Okay. We're not necessarily acknowledging that it's a fact, but we're pointing out that they're attributing its factness. Okay. So for every putative fact, okay, that comes out of somebody's mouth, it will only exist and have its intelligibility in virtue of what is ultimate. And if a given fact, if somebody says, well, a putative fact X derives from the ultimacy of Y, and somebody says, no, putative fact X is in virtue of ultimacy Z. Well, then we're not talking about the same fact, are we?
And I just asked him, like, when you say we share something, then you have to say that we will have to have something independent of our worldviews that we're holding on to as a starting point. And then he rejected that. So I was like, okay, if that's not what you're saying, then where's the connection? He couldn't tell me where the connection was.
See, what he was doing now was more obvious. I always tell you, they want you to grant their foundational parameters. So what he was trying to get you to do was adopt his foundational parameters by getting you to believe that we share them as axioms. Okay? And it's good that you stood your ground. Okay?
Yeah. He couldn't tell me where the connection was, where the starting points were. And they were like, they're not in a physical location. I didn't say they was in some physical location, but there's some place where they at. They can't tell me where they were at. Yeah, you still say we share them. And there was a connection in some undefined, ambiguous way that you can't define.
Look, for example, in the Christian worldview, our most fundamental foundational mental states are not axiomatic. They're simply granted by God. We couldn't think otherwise. It's because we're made in the image of God. That is not the same thing as saying they're axioms where we're a tabula rasa and we just evolve and we become these thinking beings. And then over time, we develop reason and say, oh, you know what? In order to make sense of everything, I gotta have this axiom here, axiom 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then that's an anti-biblical anthropology. That's a denial of the. Listen, if you start with foundational parameters, they don't start as self-evident. If something's either God evident or it's nothing at all.
That's right.
See, we can thank Van Til and Bahnsen for pointing out the biblical position. We don't want to be sucked in to, it says, taking every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. Well, what does that mean? It means that all thoughts about propositions have their basis and origin in God and Christ.
There are
no neutral facts.
I gotta ask you something. Okay, check this out. So, for example, you're a detective, homicide detective, and there's a murder. You go to a scene, blah blah blah. Who are you gonna call to that scene when you arrive?
Ghostbusters.
What is your point? What is your point?
We will
get to your point.
We will arrive to that point later. But
yeah,
who would you call? Of course, forensic.
You're making a category error, sir.
I mean, let's do it. Can we do it?
No, you're not understanding. Are you see?
Well,
This is
can
why
I
it's so
ask you
frustrating.
something so you
No,
answer
shut
it?
up, or I'm going to server mute you.
Well, that's what you're gonna
Okay,
do because we can't have
that's
a
right.
debate.
Okay, okay. No, I do want to talk with you, but you won't stop talking for a minute.
I'm asking you questions.
Okay, okay. Listen, dude. You know what? You are. How old are you?
Can you answer that question?
Okay, bye bye. Hit the road. Okay. Yeah. What we have here is a teenager trapped in an adult's body. Now I'm going to give you another chance. Okay. You're making a category error. We have a clash of worldviews. Your analogy is an appeal to that there's neutral ground. Okay. There's no neutral ground, Joy. It's that simple. The Christian worldview can provide for the grounds of intelligibility through God's revelation, which you reject. And if you don't, you're going to be plunged into a world of chance. There is no meaning for detective or dead body or evidence, because in a chance world, those things don't mean anything.
Got him.
Do you want to deny, okay, in a chance world, evidence is meaningless? Now, do you live in a chance world or not?
So you can't answer my questions.
Do you live in a chance world? See, forensic and detective and dead body and evidence don't mean anything in a chance world. Do you live in a chance world?
Do you know why you do this? Because you're intelligent enough and articulate.
Okay, I asked you a question 3 times. I won't. Your words are not meaningful in your frame of reference. You can correct me. Does detective, forensic, and dead body and evidence, are those intelligible concepts from your frame of reference? I'm waiting.
Can you answer my question first, and then I'll answer that?
Oh, I'll be glad to answer your question, but you see, your statement about forensic and detective and dead body comes from your worldview, not my worldview. Which worldview are you stating these putative facts from?
Well, I mean, let's just put that aside. Let's just talk about
Dude, you are one of the dumbest people I talk to on Discord. Okay. Every time I ask you a question, you just go want like you're a retard. Now we're gonna go back to square one. Okay. When you talk to me about dead body and detective, whose worldview do these entities exist in that you're talking about?
Let's just do this hypothetically.
No, I'm not going to ask you again. Okay, I'm already being gracious as it is. Are you talking to me about facts in your worldview or my worldview?
Don't we live in the same world?
No, sir. You and I have 2 different fundamental worldviews, both of which are foundationally opposite. So when you start talking to me about detective and forensic and evidence and deadness and bodiness, okay, are you speaking from your worldview or mine?
So hold on. In your worldview,
okay,
detective has to be Christian.
Okay, bye. You're definitely dumb. Boy, is he dumb.
Yeah. It never ends.
This is why it's almost impossible talking. Watch, I'll give him one more chance, okay? I'm going to give you one more chance. This is about the 7th time I've asked you. You are invoking detectiveness, deadness, forensic evidence. Which worldview do these words derive from? And then you can continue after you answer that.
Our worldview.
No, we don't have the same worldview. I hold to the Christian worldview. Do you hold to the Christian worldview?
Well, this has nothing to do with that.
No, yeah, it does, dum-dum.
Oh my God!
Okay, a worldview is the context upon which facts reside and have their intelligibility. All you have to tell me is, which worldview do these facts reside in?
Christian worldview.
Okay, so the Christian God necessarily exists, and he has revealed himself through natural and special revelation, and that includes the detective and evidence. Good, go ahead.
Yes, okay. So how do we go about this murder? How do we prove who killed this murder?
You can't.
I mean,
You can't.
who killed this? Who
You
killed
can't prove it.
this
You
person?
can just simply. You can just simply evaluate certain things that you observe and come to a provisional conclusion that you may have either strong or weak confidence in.
So we need. How do I go about it?
Okay. Well, proving things would be examining various facts and then concluding that each one of those facts are probabilistically linked to a murderer, and then combined, it would probably probabilistically indicate whether the person in question was more or less likely to having committed the murder. So when you talk about prove it, proofs only exist in mathematics.
So just by me thinking that somebody can be murderer of that person, let's say somebody that killed that person, is enough for me to prosecute.
Do you understand?
Because it doesn't matter, it could be probable that he is a murderer. So I don't need nothing better than.
You understand? Probable. You're using the word proving wrong. You mean persuade. Proofs only are in mathematics. Persuasion, when it comes to empirical investigations, all right, will be provisional in nature, which means they could always be overturned by a re-examination of the data or a new observation,
which we call evidence.
Evidence would be facts into consideration, which are deemed to be probabilistically indicative, but it doesn't prove.
But
when a jury is given, listen carefully, dum-dum. Okay, suppose we have Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, Exhibit D. Okay, as an example, the jury gets it. They evaluate each exhibit. Okay, each exhibit is considered evidence. Okay, now the evidence is deemed to be probabilistically related to the crime in question and the defendant. So each additional exhibit, we would then combine the probabilities of one or more exhibits to have an overall probabilistic decision as to the likelihood that the defendant committed the crime. There's no proof there. There's just persuasion. So you don't know what you're talking about. You see.
So listen, we don't need proof.
Listen, no, that's not what I said. Proof is in mathematics. Persuasion is what we're talking about. Don't confuse proof with persuasion.
Well, hold on.
You're like somebody who just learned how to swim, and you think you can swim the Channel. You listen. You don't understand many of these concepts, and you join this conversation all the time, and it's embarrassing for you.
Not really. It's embarrassing for you that you have to mute me every time I'm trying to talk.
No, I muted you because you're rude.
I'm not rude. I mean, you always calling people.
You know what?
Using derogatory terms.
Your attitude, your thinking skills level are that of a 14-year-old. I feel sorry for you that you're a grown adult.
This is what I'm talking about.
You literally have. Now, listen, dude, I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to call them out as I see it. I'm not just trying to insult you to win. I truly feel sorry for you. You see, every time I talk with you, it's the same stupidity that comes out of your mouth.
Pretty much every one of us that talks to you, you say exactly the same thing.
No, because there's a lot of stupid people. I don't get that many intelligent people.
So
because they know how. Okay, fuck off. You know what? That's it. Last chance. You just do not have self-control, do you? All right. You are one of the biggest horses' asses I encounter on the server. Okay, I gave you many chances. Now you're server muted. You're so dumb you don't realize how dumb you are. It's sad. I feel sorry for you.
Can I ask you something, Darth?
Have you
ever caught a fish and then thought, I haven't caught many fish, I'll just let this one go and pull it in again? When you're a kid.
They're so dumb. They're so dumb.
I know. Have
Yeah.
you ever done that as a kid?
By
You've
the
done
way,
that
by
with
the
a
way,
fish?
don't feel bad for him. I talk with Joy on dozens of occasions, and every time it's the same stupidity.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
the guy literally, Cloudy, the guy literally does not have abstract reasoning skills. He does not have critical thinking
Oh,
skills.
I've heard him.
This is it.
Yeah. You make me laugh, though, mate. Every time it's great. I tune in here and smile from ear to ear. Everything you say, it's
I'm
funny,
actually listen.
mate. Good on you.
I'm actually doing this guy a favor by letting him know how
Yeah,
dumb
yeah.
he
He
is.
doesn't know that, though. He doesn't know that. He's not aware of it. But I just,
No,
mate.
no, he
I
doesn't.
tell you,
He
you
doesn't
should
want to
have
be
a
aware.
radio show. You should have a radio show, man.
Look, listen. I used to pull punches years ago. I'm not going to do it anymore. When people put their stupidity on full display, after a certain period of time, trying to reason with them like an adult, I don't mute people because I disagree with them. I mute people because they're just over the top obnoxious. How many times did I ask this guy a question and he refused to answer it?
I mean, once you get to old blokes like us, you don't want to waste time either. Your time becomes more valuable.
No, they're running the clock out with their stupidity.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
At least bring a little intelligence to the table.
Yeah, I ain't got the time I had. Insert
Look,
Pink Floyd.
I'm glad I'm entertaining. I'm glad I'm entertaining you and other people in here with my bluntness. But
there's more to it. I know.
I mean, I'm not simply doing it for the entertainment value, but
I know. Well, it's a nice derivative, though, isn't it?
Listen. It's for their own good. I mean, listen. I'm not being mean at all. But listen. I don't care if this hurts his feelings. Of all the people who are regulars that I've talked to, I haven't talked with Joy in many months. Okay, but I certainly remember him from the dozens and dozens of previous conversations. Every time I talk with him, he's as dumb as a bag of rocks. I mean, just dumb. You ask him a question, he has a complete incapacity or an unwillingness to answer simple questions. He doesn't even understand basic concepts.
Don't you think ignorance plays a big part? Sorry, man.
Oh, I mean, of course.
You know, there's a bit of leeway if it's ignorance, but if you're not willing to understand that you are ignorant on certain things, that's a problem. Yeah, I hear you, mate.
You know, the real issue is he's not understanding. Okay, that we're operating from two different worldviews. Okay.
Yeah, that's always seems to be the main problem.
Maybe he ate leaded paint chips when he was a child. You know, maybe it's not his fault.
Asbestos, who knows?
Well, nah, I don't know. The asbestos just goes into the lungs.
Oh man, the corona report in Japan. The streets are empty. The trains are empty. Everybody's at home. Well, it's Saturday, but it's all very calm as usual. Toilet paper back on the shelves, and looks like we're set to go back in April.
What you have to understand is, I'm not trying to minimize the problem here in the United States, but it's not that much more serious than the SARS virus.
Agreed.
More serious
Agreed.
Than the yearly flu. Okay. The news media, the whores that they are, and even Fox News is guilty of this. The rest of the news media is trying to weaponize this to scare the crap out of people in order to use it against Donald Trump. They are the new. You know how bad they are? They're low. They're lower than atheists. That's how low they are.
I mean, look at the alternate collection of corpses that they have in November. I mean, really, that's The Walking Dead. Do you want them in the White House?
I say they probably are atheists.
You know, there were wait a minute. There were 8,000 people before the H1N1. 8,000 people were dead before Obama did anything. Okay.
13,000. 13,000.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
Before he called it a pandemic.
You know, Obama could have walked into the newsroom, okay, dropped his trousers, defecated on a paper plate, and handed it to them and told them fresh brownies, and they would have eaten it. Okay?
Hey, demolishing atheism. Are you banned from the politics Discord server?
No.
You're not?
No, I
Didn't you
quit
have an
there
issue
for
with Doobie?
a big time. He has committed that he would keep his mods from harassing me and targeting me for harassment, and I've quit and come back 4 times. And then the last time he lied about me when 2 of his mods were specifically targeting me and harassing me for nothing. Okay. And I finally, I just called him out. I told him that he was a damn liar. Okay. He said I was acting like a diva. I was not. He gives mods to the worst of the worst. I mean, just people who have no character whatsoever should be mods. He gives them mods. They misbehave, and he doesn't care. Doobie is a scumbag. Okay. He's a liar and a scumbag.
My problem with the server is that every time I engaged in discourse, everyone was over talking each other, yet the mods were present inside of the
Thank
channel.
you. That's Doobie's server. They don't care. In fact, they like that. And the only time they're going to take action, is if the speaker shares their point of view and people are over talking, then they'll mute it. Okay. This is what a scumbag server Doobie server is. Doobie server is a rat's nest.
They've given a room to a Hebrew black Israelite. A black Hebrew Israelite has a room.
Oh, I hate that guy. Oh my god. What's his name?
DeHauser, yeah, DeHauser. I wiped the floor.
Oh my god! Wait a minute. DeHauser is more mentally retarded than Joy.
My goodness. Yeah, they gave him a room. I flattened him last night as well. I'm sick of doing it. It's too easy.
I don't even know who that guy is.
He's a troll.
Man,
He's not,
you would
not
laugh. He was a serious black Hebrew Israelite, and he doesn't know the Bible. He just has no idea.
Yeah.
He gets steamrolled immediately. He hates talking to me. Hates
He
it.
said
Runs.
Jesus is black, and then you say,
Yeah. Jesus black and the white man is Esau. Yeah.
He calls you a snow monkey.
Yeah, of course.
There's just a list of diatribes that he just reiterates over and over.
Oh, right on.
He's a character. That's why he has his own room.
Somebody has some feedback. They gotta fix it. Tom Lock, it's you.
Yeah.
You hear Darth?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to sound.
Is somebody listening to I'm a Soul Man?
Wilson Pickett. Hey, a guy became a believer on the politics server just before. We had it was a Muslim and became a believer. We'll see how he goes, but he sounded very sincere and had great questions. So praise the Lord.
Yeah, you need to ban this guy, Chad, in the atheist.
Moron. I am a moron, says New Jersey.
That's probably not even a real guy, but yeah.
Hey, Chrissy, demolishing atheism. That's Darth Dawkins. He has no idea who you are.
Don't out him. Don't tell us it's Darth Dawkins. We don't know that.
Stop talking. Don't overtalk me, please.
Okay.
Ever.
I'll try my hardest. Right. Yeah, I'll try my hardest. Sorry, were you saying something? You were spurting something. Go on.
Okay, so this Christy person doesn't have any idea who Darth Dawkins is. He's a Christian, and he's never even heard of presuppositional apology.
He's deleting it.
Who the heck is this guy? Calls himself I am a moron.
Who's the guy?
I changed his name to I am a.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Daddy Jack Angstrike.
He was in here before. He's stalking, trolling.
The same guy from earlier.
Yeah, well, what you need to do is ban him. It doesn't matter if he's going to come in a new account. Just ban him. This way it'll stop him from coming in.
Give us your meek, you're tired, you're huddled masses, you're stupid. None of that.
What does your name say? What does CKT stand for? With the
I apologize. Cloudy. You can call me Cloudy if you like, man. So,
Yeah, you really should make it readable, Cloudy.
Right. I know
okay.
you hate emojis. I know.
No, I get on people's cases who don't have a readable name. You should have a readable name.
Oh, good, mate. No worries. I'll do my best.
Okay, just change it to Japanese lover.
Sure. Kumori, Kaba, or Benjo. Sure. No worries. I'll do that. Actually, don't use the word Benjo. That's kind of shithouse. Or toilet.
How long did it take you to learn Japanese?
I listened for a year and then spoke, as I do with anything else. I was immersed. It's osmosis a lot of the time. Pronunciation is really important. And of course, you never stop learning Japanese. It's such a deep language. The vocab is so wide. Not all Japanese people speak all Japanese, if you know what I mean. There's too much to know for every single situation. There's a particular word for it. And there's a lot of lost words too. Shigo, dead words they're called. So to be able to basically communicate, probably after a year you start, typical way, start in nouns, then add an adjective and start to do basic sentences, and then learn how to do transfers from that. And then it's just a matter of vocab. So, yeah, about a year. But I've been here for a long time, man.
So you're gonna have any debates come up?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any plan. I'm fit to be tied with James over at Modern Day Debate. He's a total loser. He promised me he'd get me a serious interlocutor instead of that little teenager trapped in a 20-year-old's body.
These atheists all come to the same conclusion. It seems like.
Oh, listen, they're all clowns. There's not a smart one amongst them. Okay, they're just dumb.
There was a do you know the server Nameless Debates 2? Are you familiar with that server?
Yeah.
Okay. I was having a conversation with this atheist. He tells me, I'm trying to find proof for God's existence, and his debate type, like the way in which he debates, he's like an analytical debater. I don't.
You should tell him that question is incoherent.
Well, this is the thing: is that I want an even playing field where one states in the affirmative, and the opposing position is the one who negates the affirmative, or at least attempts to, right? Lays down their premises, etc.
No, it's a rare atheist who will concede to that because they want to conceive of themselves as being neutral.
Well, no. Well, what he did is it turned into a cross-examination where he was just inundating me with the most absurd questions. It was no longer a debate anymore. I just had to leave.
Get him in here.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to see if he's online. I don't know.
Yeah, get him in. But the rest of you in here, you got to feel sorry for Joy. He just doesn't know what a dumb human being he is. It's sad.
Should I rebrand the server into an atheist server and just be atheist?
Oh, I don't know. You could just you could call it real politics and religion debate. Whatever.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
I could become the #1 atheist server on Discord. It'd just be bait.
I find the Muslim servers more fun.
Oh, you
They
wish
don't-
you'd
they
been
don't
on
like
here
my name.
earlier. I was going over the Quran's historical blunder on the Trinity with a couple of Muslims.
Oh,
They're just
good man. How'd you go?
in complete denial, just
Yeah.
cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
You know, I told the Muslims, I said, hey, denial ain't just a river in Egypt.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a mess for them, isn't it? That one. I heard you do that one before. It's good. I'm glad you're well versed on that topic, and it's great. You don't go out of your depth. You've just got enough to prove to them. You don't go anywhere else. Very good, mate. I like it. You've fine-tuned that argument. Well done.
Allah was clueless about the Christian doctrine of the Trinity.
Yeah, that's the upshot. You know more than Allah does about the Trinity. Yeah, that's what I say to him.
I invited a few people. We'll just have to wait and see if they'll join.
Excellent. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we all move down to the Atheist Helpline? Okay.
Wow. Anybody here? This is a message to Discord audience out there. Just know that.
So I hear you're
okay.
an atheist, Carlos.
Yeah, Gunner, let's go up to
Wait, no, I'm here to
general.
listen.
Let's just move
I'm
up there.
I'm Christian. I just really wanted to hear this.
Yeah, your microphone is crap, Carlos. So where are these atheists, Nicholas?
Well, I had joined a channel where most of the members were, and there's only 2 people that spoke up. I'll send the rest of them invites in. Okay.
Geez, Darth, I would hate to argue with you, mate. I mean, the guy said, look, I'll get some people in here. And you're like, oh, that's good. It was a nice offer. And now it's like, where are those guys? Where's that fish? Come on, I want to eat. Okay, bang, 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 bang. You can't wait. You're chomping at the bit.
That's because I know atheism inside and out. That's why I don't fear tangling any atheists. The only problem is a certain percentage of them, they just become obnoxious and unruly, you know.
I disagree. You disappoint me as an interlocutor.
You're a moron. Go away, little boy. You're a man-child.
You're childish.
No, I'm not. You are. You're a man-child. You don't know how to conduct yourself like an adult. Every time I ask you a question, you go, the price of tea in China, cheeseburgers, sky is blue. You don't know how to answer a straightforward question. Okay?
They're not.
You never have.
They're not straightforward questions.
Okay, you listen. Now you're turning in your cordiality over the weeks is now just turning into trolling. Okay, you're turning into a troll.
I'm not a troll.
Okay, good. Let's demonstrate it right now. Okay, what is your grounds that there is no God?
Well, at the beginning of that, we have to get to how we reason.
Sir, on what ground? Okay, see everybody, here he goes again. Never fails.
And
how is it that there's no God, Yanis? You're an atheist. That's a legitimate question. How is it that there's no God?
It is. And I agree that it is a legitimate question.
Bye-bye, Yanis. Hit the road, scumbag. See, you never fail. Okay? You're a loser.
Hey, Opie, come on.
You know, Darth, you should really become a magician. You're very proficient at making atheists disappear.
Do we have any atheists who want to defend the coherence and intelligibility of atheism? It's amazing how bold they are on other servers. Okay, where they're so bold when they have a hyena gangbang, when they get into trouble.
You do have the ultimate veto, though, with that finger on that button, my friend.
No, I only reserve it when they devolve into trolling and just being argumentative and destroying the conversation.
Noted.
I'm more than willing to relinquish the mute, but they're gonna have to capitulate by debating like adults.
Out of the wait, how many people are in this? How many people are in this channel here? There's 21. I invited atheists, so they're here. They're not speaking up, but they're still here.
Well, if they've decided the most important question of human history, they should have if they really believe it, why don't they speak up?
We're not speaking up, so we don't get muted like always.
You won't get muted. I'll relinquish my mutes right now, and I'll have Tonlock muted, okay? And you won't get muted as long as you conduct yourself like an adult. Are you an atheist?
Yeah, sure. Is this
Good.
So last time you said that, right, on the Blue Politics, that you weren't going to mute anybody, then you muted everybody, then you said, why won't they?
Okay, listen, crybaby. Hey, crybaby, grab a box of tissues, blow your nose, and let's start the conversation. Now, can you please explain to me, do not overtalk me, or you're going to get muted by Tonlock, okay?
What the fuck?
Now, you told me you're an atheist. Now, here's the question.
That's right.
How is it that see, don't overtalk me, or you're going to get server muted. Okay.
Can I get my
second warning. Third warning. Don't overtalk me, or you're going to get server. Okay. Bye, asshole. Okay. See.
All right. Which one is he?
It was Cubit. Okay. We're done with him. Okay.
All right. You got him. Okay.
You see. You're a troll. You're a troll. Okay. So you just can't help yourself. See, this is what they do. They're clowns. They're such spineless jellyfish. They're girly men. They're so boldly atheists, yet when we ask them to defend their atheism, they turn into little girly men.
He's a girly man.
Now, Cubit, I'm going to give you one more chance. Don't blow it. Now, the question I'm trying to get out is...
That's all right. I'm going to blow it.
Okay, bye-bye. See? There we go. Say he's a little boy. You must be a real disappointment to mommy and daddy. I sure hope they don't spend hot money on higher education for you, because it's going to be money down a rat hole.
You know they do.
See, I gave him a second chance, and the little fag teenager boy can't help himself.
Well,
fishing.
I mean, we want atheists to come in here. We want to give them a level playing field. We really do.
Atheist.
I do. Good. Let's talk
fishing.
Now,
For atheists.
we have a rule. We have a rule. If you're going to converse or debate on this issue or other issues, you will conduct yourself like an adult. And if you don't, you're going to get server muted. Are we clear about the rules?
Very clear.
Okay, good. Now, explain to me how there is no creator God.
Because it's not that there isn't, it's that we can't prove it.
Okay. When you say you can't prove it, it means you've already made a determination that some facts, or all of the facts that you're acquainted from, do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God, which
incorrect. I don't have any facts.
Do not overtalk me, little boy.
Sorry.
Okay, little boy. I was studying these issues before your daddy kissed your mommy. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Now, that doesn't necessarily make me right. But you're soon to find out that I'm right. Now, when you make the statement that it hasn't been proven, it means that you've already adjudicated that all of the facts that you are acquainted with do not necessitate referencing God as a necessity. So it is a de facto denial. It is an indirect denial. Okay?
Okay, this dude needs to be timed out. Boo the cat in the chat. You see what he's posting?
Somebody ban
So-
that guy.
So yeah, the facts that you're referring to, I don't acknowledge.
You didn't even, little boy, you didn't even understand what I said. Okay?
Don't call me
Listen
little boy.
carefully.
Call me doughboy.
Listen carefully. Doughboy. You didn't even understand what I said. It went right over your head. Now, when you say God has not been proven, what that entails by implication is that all of the facts that you are acquainted with do not necessitate referencing God as the necessity of those facts.
That's not true.
Okay, listen to me. Do you have a pen in front of you?
No. I have notes. Like I can write it down in my notes.
Listen to me. My patience isn't going to last with you very long because you're a dumb teenager. Now, okay. Have you decided that one or more facts do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God for the existence of facts?
One or more facts necessitate the God.
I'll repeat the question. Have you decided that one or more facts do not necessitate referencing the existence of God necessary for those facts?
What do you mean by necessitate?
Okay, go away, little boy. Go brush your teeth, put on your jammies, get ready for bed. Okay? This is what we're stuck with. If we're not stuck with teenagers trapped in adult bodies who are ignoramuses, we're dealing with dumb atheist teenagers. What did Popeye say? That's all I can stand because I can't stand no more.
Hey Darth, I was listening to the tapes you sent me, the seminary level apologetics by Bonson.
Yeah, that's
and
pure gold.
I had a facepalm moment on my drive home. So a while back, I was discussing with Clerical Error, and he kept pressing the issue of circularity in the Christian worldview.
Well,
And I got
Error is a troll.
I know he is, but here's the deal. I saw this as a problem because I knew he was going to use that against me by using circular arguments to particulars, to various particulars, and claiming that because my worldview contains some circular reasoning, that those are valid. However, the things he would have proposed would not have been the ultimate authority, it would not have been necessary, nor would they have had the authority to verify themselves. Therefore, it would be fallacious where it is not when you're using circularity to justify your ultimate authority. It was a facepalm moment because I didn't defend that point when I could have.
Practice makes perfect, my friend. Okay, practice makes perfect. Mrs. Snable taught that to me.
I just put out a beacon to a bunch of people in this libertarian group I know of that has a ton of atheists. I'd love to see if they'd love to discuss.
Oh, good.
We'll see if they answer the bat signal.
Yeah, you have to understand that atheists are so accustomed to being belligerent, obfuscating, argumentative, belligerent. They're so accustomed to it, you know.
Yeah.
Is that
Look,
bat
if we're
signal, is that bat signal a giant A in the sky?
A giant what in the sky?
Your mic is weak.
I said, was it a giant A in the sky? The bat signal.
Right. Yeah. No, they misinterpreted that for the anarchy.
Look, I'm pretty sure I could drop a link to this server in the ACA Discord, and not a single person would show up.
No, they're absolutely right. Listen. They're completely gutless cowards. They only want to debate it where they are well protected and they have the powers of mute. They have the power of shutting you down. Look at what these clowns do. Okay.
Yeah.
On Talk Schmeathens and the atheist experience.
I'm probably going to be banned from the ACA here pretty quick because one of their rules is that you have to refer to people by the pronouns that they have chosen. And, well, I haven't been doing that. So I'm probably going to be banned
there you go. You see, this is the funny thing. Atheists for a generation or two have been saying that there's no objective morality. Now they tell us there is objective morality. I mean, these people are clowns. They're absolute. I mean, to say they're clowns is an insult to clowns.
At least clowns a profession.
Yeah. At least clowns are what they are, you know?
Yeah, they're honest about themselves.
Clowns even have standards.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting. Have you ever met couples that where like the husband is atheist and the wife is, a Christian or vice versa?
It sounds like a bad sitcom.
That's usually the case.
Mm-hmm.
And the dumb women think that they're gonna win the husband over. It doesn't work.
It's brutal to see.
Well, women are naive to do it. Now, sometimes it does work, but it usually doesn't. Yeah, Doughboy, if you avoid the server mute, you're going to get muted again or banned from the room, okay?
Okay.
Now, I'll give you one more chance. You can put on your big boy pants, and we can converse. Now, if you say God is unproven, it means that all of the facts that you're acquainted with don't indicate God. That's your position. Are we clear?
I don't believe that there are facts.
What?
Is that a fact?
What the heck,
That's a
man?
statement of a
Really?
fact, moron.
How's that a fact? That's just
Okay, go. All right, go away. Go away. Wow.
Is that like the epitome of postmodern thinking?
Yeah, Doughboy. Does mommy have a Bernie Sanders bumper sticker on her car?
Goodness
There was an
gracious,
atheist in
man.
here.
Wow.
I'd actually love to see if I can get this guy to talk to you. We were talking earlier, and he's an atheist, but he's like
I consider
populist.
everybody who's in here, it's your obligation to recruit atheists to come in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen. I wouldn't have to stay on just one or two or three servers. I would love to go on other servers, but the atheists want to harass, they want to troll, they want to overtalk. Okay. They claim that they want serious adult interaction, but they don't. They're liars. Okay.
Yeah, this guy was in politics discussion, and he's like a right-wing populist nationalist, but also an atheist.
Well, get him in here.
Yeah, I don't know where. I'd love him to come talk. He's got a lot of facts about race, which is interesting. Obviously,
You, listen, the overwhelming majority of atheists are a bunch of feckless cowards. They only want to debate under tightly controlled circumstances.
Yeah.
Here's something funny. You'll often find Christians on the ACA Discord that will go in and debate with them, but you will rarely find atheists in CAR.
Or hear from there. By the way, they banned me for their server. They will not allow me on their server.
did Chad ever set up the vanity URL? I guess not. I'll just keep using the other invite.
Darth, you're not allowed in the ACA Discord for the same reason that aircraft carriers are not allowed in the South China Sea.
Maybe I should go have some fun in the ACA server.
Dude, it sounds terrible. Gosh, I'm so beyond it, man.
Just go over there and say, you heard Darth Dawkins is banned, and he says he desperately wants to talk with you atheists. So why don't you come and join him over on the politics server, since you won't let him on your server?
They're gonna. I know what's gonna happen if I go over there. I'm gonna call the bootlicker. You know what, sucker? All that.
Yeah.
Bootlicker? I don't understand that one. Who's the boots? Whose boots are you licking?
Yeah, they think I lick Darth's boots.
I thought it was more of a status thing. Usually when you say bootlicking, it's like people that are really into the state, the police, army, military, super right wing.
Well,
The only-
they're just
the only
saying
kind
I'm
of atheist we get in
essentially a
here-
sycophant.
we only get two kinds of basic atheists in here for the most part. Either they're just really, really dumb, or they're just obnoxious, or they just obfuscate and they troll. You know, we rarely get people who want to debate atheism.
Yeah.
As an intelligent adult, it's rare. I won't say it never happens, but it's rare.
The demographics are younger as well in Discord, so that's a tough one.
Something interesting I've noticed from the tapes is that I think that the standard atheist philosophy has shifted over the years, because Bonson talks about materialism as being a rising problem on the tapes. And today I think the problem is more along the lines of pragmatism.
Pragmatism is meaningless in a world without God.
I know they both suffer the same issue, but
how do you have pragmatism in a chance world?
You can't, because the conclusions you're drawing don't necessarily comport to reality. Well, nothing would comport to reality, as there would be no consistency.
Hey, Dawkins, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
How would you deal with somebody who says they're a non-cognitivist? Like, how would you approach them?
Oh, that's just stupid. Because I would ask them, okay, if you're a non-cognitivist, okay, that's going to have to be intelligible in a worldview. So they have to start with an ultimacy of some kind in order to have any coherent thoughts or intelligibility of facts. So that ultimacy is going to have to be impersonal. And all I have to ask them, since you're operating from an impersonal ultimate, is that cognitively meaningful? What are they going to say? No, because then they destroy their own worldview. So if they say that their worldview starts with an impersonal ultimate, and then all possibility and impossibility deriving from that and being prescribed, then I'll say, well, if an impersonal absolute is cognitively meaningful, why would a personal ultimate be not cognitively meaningful? Explain that. The people who engage in theological non-cognitivism, they're just little weasels because they don't want to debate for atheism. They just want to say that the word God is not meaningful. We had a guy like this who periodically jumps in many years ago on Pal Talk. His name was Harry. And he was an obnoxious bull in the china shop atheist. And he kept on saying that the word God is not meaningful or intelligible. Yet he would constantly post syllogistic arguments against the existence of God. And I pointed out to him, Harry, why are you using that word G-O-D when it doesn't mean anything in your syllogisms? Okay. Oh, and by the way, Harry comes in here periodically in the last couple of months. Here's a guy who never hesitated to debate with me and use the power of muting over on Pal Talk. But in here, he's as quiet as a church mouse.
Who are you talking about?
It was a very strange Czech guy from Pal Talk who was a staunch atheist. You know, he had a lot of bravado, you know, when he was a moderator over there, and he was surrounded by a hyena gangbang, you know. But, you know, without it, he comes in here and he's as quiet as a church mouse. That's the way most of these atheists are. Okay.
He had a lot of backup to carry him, huh? When things got rough.
Right. We don't want this room to be an atheist ghetto. We really don't. Absolutely not. We want as many unbelievers to come in here and participate and learn. We can learn from them. But you'll find that on these other atheist servers, they want it to be an atheist, ghetto. Because once an atheist starts losing, then their buddies jump in like it's tag team wrestling.
Isn't that what you do here?
No. Yeah, Bait, this is not going to go on with your trolling, okay? You're going to be server muted in a heartbeat. You've already been server muted many times for your bad conduct. I don't want to have to do it again, okay? Now, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you can conduct yourself like an adult. But if you want to persist in your previous bad behavior, I'm just going to mute you without notification, okay? Okay, yeah. So do you want to defend your atheism like an adult, or you just want to sit there and just try to bait me?
Well, do you admit that circular arguments are fallacious?
No, I don't accept that all forms of circularity are fallacious, because if one were to accept that, then there could not be any there could not be any syllogistic or discursive reasoning at all, because that you would have no fundamental truth or starting point for any premises. Do you understand the problem?
How about evidence?
Okay, did you understand what I just said?
I understood it. I did not agree with it.
Can you express to me what I just said to you?
You said that you can't have a starting point for an argument if you can't have virtuously, or you can't have circular arguments.
Right. How could you defend a premise if you don't have a fundamental starting point? How are you going to defend your fundamental starting point?
Starting with definitions.
No, you're not understanding. Definitions would simply be conventional. We're talking about ontology, sir.
You have reality.
Okay, reality. What is reality? Is reality an abstract one or not?
I don't know what you're asking.
Is reality a concrete one, or is it an abstract set of particulars?
Concrete.
It's a concrete one?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then therefore you can't talk about particulars. Therefore you have no intelligibility. All you can talk about is the one.
It's a one with many parts.
No. If it's a concrete one, then there are no parts. There's just one.
Are you a concrete one or an abstract one?
I am an abstract one.
So you don't actually exist?
No, I didn't say that. I'm an abstract one. I am a set of particulars. Okay. Now, what I'm asking you for what is the most foundational truth out of which all other things derive and depend, such as premises and argumentation. So
I would say that.
Please do not overtalk me. Whatever you say or reason, doesn't matter what it is, you're going to have an ultimate commitment to what your most foundational truth about the nature of existence is, out of which any and all other truths derive and depend. If you say it's reality and it's a concrete one, there are no other particulars. Okay? So you're making a fundamental philosophical mistake.
I don't know what you mean by concrete one.
A concrete one would just simply be a one, and it is not. They're not particulars. It's either you could have a concrete one, or you could have an abstract one. An abstract one would simply be a set of concrete particulars.
Can you give an example of a concrete one?
Yeah, an eternal black cube, or you could say God.
So God can't be both omnipotent and omniscient because those are two particulars.
We're not even talking about that right now. So what we're talking about is, you said that your position is all circular reasoning is fallacious. Is that your position?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that notion is fallacious itself, because then you have no fundamental starting point for any truths to derive or build upon. How did you arrive at your most fundamental truth?
Through observation.
No, you're not understanding. What is the most fundamental truth is not something that you could observe.
Why?
Well, explain to me, what is it that is ultimate, absolute, unconditionally non-dependent, from which all other temporal things derive? What is it?
Reality.
You're making the same mistake again. You're repeating the same stupidity over. Is reality a concrete one, or is it an abstract one?
How is it relevant?
Okay, listen, dude, you're not going to last long. You're doing what you do all the time. Being argumentative is going to get you server muted. Okay.
Okay, let me try to clarify because I'm not sure if I understood it properly.
I actually don't think he even understands why it's relevant.
Okay,
I actually think he doesn't
listen to me carefully. Now,
I
I'm
really
trying
don't.
to show you how your position, where you reject all forms of circularity, wipes out your own system. Whenever you speak truths, you will either speak that fundamental truth upon which all things derive and depend, or you're talking about truths that are derivative or contingent upon what is an ultimate truth. Okay. Now, when you say reality, that's a throwaway answer because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. It's vague, it's ambiguous, it's unclear. That's why I asked you, is it a concrete one or an abstract one? Okay. If it's a concrete one, then you destroy your ability to talk about reasoning or any particulars at all because there are no particulars to be spoken of if it's a concrete one. If what is ultimate is a concrete one, there is no many. There are no actual particulars in existence. So you don't even understand this ontological issue. Okay.
So if an idea has many properties, can it still be a concrete one?
Did you tell me what the most foundational truth of is in existence is reality? And I asked you, is it a concrete one?
Look,
or
I
an
don't understand
abstract
your
one? And you said,
definition.
do not overtalk. Don't overtalk me. Okay. We'll try one more time. What is it specifically? I don't want to hear something ambiguous or equivocal. I want to know what is it that is ultimate, foundational, and absolute that all other particulars and facts derive and depend on.
But I can't answer your question if I don't understand the terms you're using.
I want to know what is the most fundamental truth of existence that all other truths derive and depend upon.
As I said, I can't answer your question if I don't understand the terms you're using.
Okay, do you understand there has to be one fundamental truth, a unifying first principle that all other facts and truths derive and depend upon? Otherwise, listen to me carefully. Do I sound educated on this issue?
No.
Okay, you know what? Fuck off, asshole.
He said all circular arguments are fallacious.
See, listen, I bend over backwards. Excuse my French. I shouldn't talk that way as a Christian. I apologize. Okay? I'm just tired of these people. Do you know how many times I bent over backwards giving this guy more chances? Okay? This is what they do. These people are they're just angry at God. They hate God. Okay? And they think, see, they're so accustomed to dealing with people who are not experienced debaters or don't have any level of sophistication in philosophy or theology. And for years, they get away with just being argumentative. And they think that this is a skill. It's not. It's imbecilic. It's moronic, right? This is why I have no respect for any atheists, okay? Even the professional atheists.
I was just going to say, he said all circular arguments are fallacious. Well, that means that statement could never ultimately depend on anything.
Yeah, he's a moron. Every time when you ask them what is ultimate and they don't know what to say, they always go, reality. You know that they're completely clueless and a deer in the headlights when you ask them, what is it that's ultimate and absolute that all things that are possible and impossible are prescribed by? What is it that institutes and prescribes all possibility? What is that ultimate? And when they don't know what to say, they go, reality. Even that moron, that autistic moron, T. Jump, who thinks he's philosophically erudite, when I asked him, yeah, you're muted, see you later, nice try. Now, when I asked T. Jump that same question, all he could sit there and say was reality. And I said, could you tell me what is one of the most fundamental properties and attributes of what you call reality? He goes, existence. I mean, this is how dumb he is. And yet he thinks he's philosophically erudite. Whenever you ask, what is it that's absolute and ultimate? They go, reality. Well, is reality one, or is reality an abstract set of particulars? Are all the particulars themselves ultimate and eternal? Because if they say yes, that's incoherent. You can't have more than one ultimate. Only one thing can be ultimate.
If I may ask, I'm Christian, but just to hear your thoughts. What if they say something along the lines of like taking a Platonic ideal realm in which there are a set of infinite Platonic ideals of things, and from there we can derive reality and non-reality?
Abstract objects don't stand in causal relations. And how do they know about these abstract objects?
Okay, thank you.
Demolishing atheism. Theologically, I know you're Christian, but theologically, where do you stand? Are you Orthodox? What are you?
I'm a Bible-believing Christian. I believe the gospel of Jesus Christ is very plain and clear, and I think various church denominational institutions do not teach the true gospel. I think Roman Catholicism, Eastern Orthodoxy, liberal Protestantism, they all teach a false gospel. They basically
So you're
teach,
not. So you classify yourself non-denominational?
yes.
All right.
They basically teach, come to Jesus, get your sins forgiven, but you're going to be on a treadmill until your heart stops trying to get more sins forgiven. Okay? This is not the gospel of Jesus Christ. Okay?
Yeah.
This is a very carefully devised satanic deception where he infiltrates the church over the centuries, over the millennia. He gets unbelievers in there, and they bring the traditions of men in that nullify the word of God and turning the gospel of grace into a gospel of works and performance. And then when you deal with people who think they're Christians, but they're not, they've never been born again, they haven't been given a new nature, and they're just blinded because of their unrepentance. Now, they think they're repentant, but they're not. If they were truly repentant, they would realize that all of their performance from the time you die, from the time you're born to your time you die, has no effect whatsoever upon your eternal destination. The only thing that factors in is when God commands all men everywhere to repent and believe on Jesus Christ. Those that do repent and believe on Jesus Christ will have their sins forgiven. It's just that simple. But these other churches want to have either watered down, candy-coated works gospel performance, or it's blatant, such as in the sacerdotal churches. You know, there's not really a lot of difference between the sacerdotal churches and Islam and the other cults, because they're all on a performance treadmill. Okay, they're not seeing themselves as eternally damned and having to turn yourself over to God to save you from eternal damnation. I mean, they will even resort to lying through their teeth, like Canadian Catholic who comes in here. And when I talked to him, I said, do you accept what the Bible says there's only one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus? And he'll say, oh, yes. And they pay lip service to it. Say, then why do you call your clergy priest? The word priest is a mediator between God and men. There's no need for a mediator between God and men since we have Christ. Okay? But they don't care. They love their system more than they love God. Same thing with the religious people in Jesus' day. That, in fact, Jesus condemned them outright publicly in such excoriating terms. That's why they plotted to kill him, because he exposed their gospel of works.
Oh, you know who's cringe? I was watching the conversation you had with Shannon Q.
Oh yeah, she's totally cringeworthy.
What is she? She says she's an agnostic.
She's a liar. She's an absolute liar. I saw her referring to herself as an atheist on another program. Okay, this is what they want to do. Their position is that God doesn't exist, but they want to hide behind, oh, well, you know what? You could call me. What was that term she called herself? What kind of an agnostic? Somebody who's she called herself some
temporal,
kind of
a temporal agnostic.
Yeah, she goes, you could call me listen, this broad was as deceitful and devious as possible. She kept on trying to accuse and impugn me of engaging in psychological malfeasance. She's a disgusting pig. I have no respect for her. You know, she wanted to query me. She wanted to question me. But when I question her, how is science even meaningful in your worldview? She goes, "Oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing." She's not the nice person she's a big phony. Okay. She wasn't nice to me. Okay. What she was saying was borderline slander. Okay. And she basically refused to have an adult interaction about what she really believed. You want to know why? It's because if she answered my questions truthfully, her position would have been exposed for the vacuousness that it is. So instead of answering the questions truthfully, right, like I did to her, okay, what did she do? She just tried to slime me. And then she was just argumentative and evasive. Then when I asked her, what is your worldview? Okay, you know what her answer was? Do you recall? She said, my worldview is I lick cheesecake. This is one of the most prominent, popular female atheists on YouTube. Okay? This is what the best you can do as an atheist on YouTube? You lick cheesecake? That's your worldview?
The YouTube atheists are not generally philosophical heavyweights.
Well, you know who is a philosophical heavyweight that does concern me about debating him is Neil the 604 Atheist. Now that guy's a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You're
I see
hilarious,
what you're
Darth, you know
doing.
that?
While Darth's debating, he's going to need one of us to have a towel to wipe his forehead periodically.
According to Neil, the 604 Atheist, and could somebody tell me what does 604 even mean? Right? He says atheism is settled. It's settled. There's no evidence for God.
It sounds like an area code.
What is he so? Wait a minute. What is he so afraid of? Invite me on your show, Neil. You get to pull the strings. All you want to have is this cavalcade of atheists going, I was raised in church. I was raised a creationist. And then when I got to high school, I found out evolution was true. And then I realized the Bible was false. And now I'm an atheist. And then they slap each other on the back, guffawing and giggling. It's just, these people are.
Evolution is true, you stupid fat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. The trolls never stopped it.
I think that gives them some sort of street cred when they say they used to be a Christian or something.
Oh, wait. Oh, Bates said in Atheist Helpline chat, he said, the precept argument looks like this. God is necessary for logic in the universe to exist. Logic in universe exists. Conclusion, God exists. Hence, it's a circular argument.
Actually, that's well, Bates an idiot. He's a moron. Yeah, you want to hear you want to hear Bates' argument? Okay. Let's see.
Nothing is necessary for logic, therefore
no. Watch. I'm just gonna put. Listen. I'm gonna just insert his term. Okay. Reality is necessary for logic in the universe to exist. Logic in the universe exists. Conclusion: reality exists. It's a circular argument. Bates just got hosed.
Weaponized.
Okay. Remember when I asked him, what is your most foundational truth? You see, for the Christian, that's God. So all I have to do is insert his foundational truth. Reality is necessary for logic and universe to exist. Premise 2, logic and universe exist. Conclusion, reality exists. It's a circular argument. Somebody type that back to Bate and just change the word God and put in reality. Okay? And say Bates' argument then is circular.
All right, what are the premises? The conclusion?
You just change the word God.
Just change the word God to reality, and that's his line of reasoning. Okay.
Okay.
So he says circular reasoning is fallacious. Therefore, his reasoning is fallacious because he says reality is the most foundational truth. Reality is necessary for logic in the universe to exist. Okay. He's such a look. The sad thing is, Bait is not just a troll. He's a moron. He's just stupid.
Darth, do you know who internet waifu is?
No.
Oh, okay. It's this like transvestite I met in this like community Discord server. And they said that they said that they know who you were. I was just wondering if you knew who they were.
No, I try not to know who the transvestites are.
Yeah, they were like a relativist. So I simply asked them. They said, "Oh, but the Miriam." Jesus Christ.
Another atheist realizes God does exist.
Oh my God. So pretty much the staple to their argument was that the Merriam-Webster definition of gender states that it's like relative to the individual or whatever. So basically they're able to arbitrarily dictate their gender. I said, no, I mean, that's not true. I said, wouldn't you agree that a formal definition can change, but truth can't change? And then, oh my God, she started ear raping me. And I actually got hit offline, I think, by one of his friends. I wasn't able to connect.
Look, these people are not interested in truth. They're not interested in logic. They only want to make a pretense that they are.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's doing it again. He should just
By
get
the way,
banned from the server.
if they were being honest to that question, they would say that truth can change too. What they really think.
Yeah. What's funny is it's the same people who purport to be atheists and will invoke science, but when it doesn't serve their cause, they'll say it's arbitrary. Gender, right? It's not biological. Give me a break.
I have a fun talking we could talk about that's not necessarily atheistic, but I think you would disagree with me if you're.
Yeah, your microphone quality is quite bad.
Okay.
You sound like you're on old time radio.
It's ma'am.
Why isn't this guy perm banned? Why isn't he perm banned?
Who?
The person who you changed his username to moron.
We're having problems with Chad. Chad refuses to do it. Because he'll just keep coming back.
Yeah, he feels like that it would cause people to be deterred from wanting to join. He thinks it's gonna scare off new people, so he doesn't want to get into ban mode.
I think there's a certain merit to some of the things that Chad says, but I think he just carries it a little bit too far. But I don't think he's off completely on his sentiment.
You know, Darth, I used to run a server and you were in there. And honestly, I can kind of understand what Chad is going through. The atheist crowd can be very, very persuasive in terms of because they swarm a server and then they start complaining in large numbers.
Yeah, and the problem is with you is you're just a jellyfish. You should just ignore them.
Well, yes, that should be what's done.
I never
but
had that problem on my server.
Your server is empty, Darth.
you were running the server.
That's right. People did whine and bitch to me about that because I didn't care. I didn't give them the time of day. Yeah, you try to make everybody happy, you make nobody happy.
That's one for the t-shirt.
Yeah, there's definitely someone you're not gonna make happy at some point.
Stas, you're an atheist.
I haven't seen anybody named Sass since politics.
I could probably make a pretty decent intimation to say that there's probably overwhelming majority of atheists here probably change their roles to Christian in order to evade having conversation. There has to be at least one atheist here.
Well, it's not
many
like
people in
they're forced into it. Somebody pops in the chat room with the atheist tag. It's not like we drag them into the conversation.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can't force somebody to talk. I mean, you can force somebody to acknowledge that they're in the room, but
What I don't understand, people who believe in libertarian free will.
Why?
Because in and of itself is incoherent.
How is that incoherent? Because if you deny that, all you have is fatalism.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a compatibilist in that God's foreknowledge doesn't necessarily make you coerced to act in a particular manner. So I think to some extent you have libertarian free will, but I do believe that there's certain neurological things that catalyze you to operate in a particular way.
Are you a Calvinist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a determinist. No.
Well, God makes us in His image. He makes us.
Yeah,
agents,
5-point Calvinism doesn't make sense.
Which, yeah. God makes us in His image, which means that we have the capacity to make some free choices. Period.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I agree with. Some free choices, granted. I don't think you're completely have the ability to act on your volition.
People who believe in libertarian free will agree with that. At least that's my understanding.
No, I've met people who believe in libertarian free will that well, like I personally, my view is that you're not exempt from certain neurological variables that could make you do certain things. That's all I'm stating. I'm a compatibilist. I'm not a fatalist. I'm not a hard determinist. I'm just a compatibilist.
Compatibilism is problematic because you're saying free will is not incompatible with determinism. That God determines everything. Okay, You know where that all came from?
Well,
It came from Augustine. Calvin got it from Augustine. You know where Augustine got it from? Augustine got it from the Manichaeans. It was a Gnostic cult. Okay.
So you don't think like the laws of physics and like your neurological system makes you do certain things?
Oh, I certainly agree with that, but that doesn't mean that I have the capacity to make certain free choices. So, for example, there are certain things about my neurological makeup that are like my mother and father. There's no doubt about that. I see that in my brothers and sisters, but we all have the capacity to make a range of free choices.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but may I ask a clarifying question so I understand where this conversation is going? How are you defining libertarian free will?
Me? Are you asking me that?
Either one of you.
Oh, okay. I define libertarian free will. Jesus Christ! It's like every 10 minutes a fucking troll comes in here.
It's the same,
I define liberty.
It's the same guy.
Okay. I define libertarian free will the complete you being completely able to act on your own volition. I think you can do that. I'm just saying in a neurological sense, and in terms of the relevance to how the laws of physics operate, I think that they all play an influence on it. So I don't know. I feel like simplifying it to saying that you truly have free will when there's multifarious factors that are ultimately making you that are galvanizing you to do certain things. I think is kind of a almost foolish thing to say in a way.
Did Adam have the choice to obey or disobey?
Are you asking me if Adam had the choice to obey or disobey? Yeah, he had the choice. Yeah.
This goes to show what onus
what
knows
you don't
about.
hold on. What you don't realize, Pancake Lizard, is everybody's a presuppositionalist. When you say it gets so boring, it's just that you just want to ignore the other side, just wanting their presuppositional foundational parameters just granted. We won't talk about it; they'll just be there. But it doesn't work that way. Okay.
What I think is funny is he's saying he's bored, and yet he's deciding to sit and listen to the conversation.
Yeah, I hate those. I hate those people because there'll be people that'll go off on these like on separate debate servers. They'll go off on these diatribes aimed towards me while they're inside of the server. They hear me. They have a mic. They don't use it. They disable their mic. Why don't you speak? They're not assertive. They're cowards.
Like, and they're like these very, very astute psychoanalysts. And
Look,
talking about we think William Lane Craig is our hero. What?
Oh, the text chat is
look! It's Onus the idiot.
Hey, William Lane Craig has showed them how to win with an entourage.
No, what we have is we have young teenagers, males, some of them who are into all sorts of sexual perversion, maybe homosexuality. They don't want there to be a God, and they get a kick out of trolling and being argumentative, and they think it's effective. It's a waste of time. Listen, why do you think Craig Lane William will not debate certain people? He only wants to debate people who are credentialed because he doesn't want to have to deal with all of these morons.
Darth, to be honest, the only difference between the teenage atheists and the boomer atheists is that the boomer atheists are a little more covert in their trolling.
True, but they're just as stupid.
Yeah, we mentioned Craig Lane William in bits and pieces here and there, but we talk more about Boston and Van Til than Craig.
Yeah, you're talking about Till Van Cornelius, right?
Yes, Till Van Cornelius.
To a certain degree, William Lane Craig had it. Well, not just to a certain degree, but William Lane Craig has had his argumentation and still has his argumentation completely wrong.
Wait,
Bill
and what
Van
aspect?
Cornelius
Have you
and
ever
Boston
seen?
Greg.
Listen. You know, I'm somebody who has a great deal of admiration and respect up to a certain point of Craig Lane William, but I've also criticized him. Not that I'm smarter than he is, but I just think he's wrong on certain things. But have you ever seen the vicious cartoons that atheist scum has done on attacking William Lane Craig? They're just. I mean, so many of these atheists, they're just disgusting. What? By the way, watch Aaron Robb, okay, debate people online. The guy is an animal. He's a psycho.
Well, the reason why I said William Lane Craig is starting from the wrong place is because if you don't start from the Bible, you're not being faithful to Christianity.
So, Hitch Atheist, would you like to explain why you're an atheist?
I'm an atheist because there's obviously no reason to believe.
Oh wow.
Okay, so when you say there's no reason, okay, are you saying God does not exist because all of the reasons for God seem to have failed?
Is that what I said, or is that what you're saying?
I'm asking if does that accurately sum up your position? Is it your position that God does not exist because the rationale for God seems to fail?
Come on, Darth. You know me.
That's a legitimate question, dude. What is it with all you atheists? You guys are just nothing but a spineless coward jellyfish. I asked you a legitimate question. Answer the effing question. Why? You guys want to proclaim you're atheist. You've solved the most important question of all of human existence, and yet when I ask you to unpack your answer to life's most not difficult, but life's most important question, you clam up like a little girly man. Now, do you need me to repeat the question?
Ask your question again, please, sir.
Is it your position that God does not exist because the reasons that you are acquainted with for God seem to fail?
No.
So you're not saying God doesn't exist?
That's correct.
That's false. Your position is incoherent. I will explain why. Now,
I knew you would.
If you claim that you lack belief in God, you have an absence of belief in God, you reject the God claim, what you're claiming is a position of neutrality. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Can you be neutral toward what is deemed or defined to be transcendentally necessary, and there's only two options? Can you be neutral toward either one?
Can you define transcendentally?
Yeah. What is it that is ultimate and absolute that all things derive and depend upon? That will either be a personal absolute or an impersonal absolute. Okay, those are what we would say are transcendentally necessary, and one or the other has to be true. Could you be neutral toward either one of those? The answer is no, you can't. You cannot be. You can be neutral toward many things, but you cannot be neutral toward what is transcendentally necessary for all temporal facts. Now, if you lack belief in God, okay, then your living, breathing, and walking around will be in virtue of what is ultimate and impersonal, not God. So you're not neutral. I've just exposed that your position is not a position of neutrality. Your position entails an indirect denial of God. Let me ask you a simple question. You claim to be neutral, right?
You should tell him that. Sure.
Good. Do you assert that God is the necessary precondition of all facts?
I'm sorry. Do I accept that God is a precondition?
No. Do you assert that God is the necessary precondition of all facts?
You would realize by atheist,
Do you assert that God is the necessary precondition of all facts? Simple question.
Obviously not.
Good, then you're not neutral.
Okay, why are you so angry?
Because you're not answering my question as usual. You're evasive, you're deceptive.
Buddy, you're my friend.
Darth. Frodo Young, is he that guy?
I
Darth.
don't know.
Frodo Young is the last person you put in the mental ward.
Then he changed his name.
No, Darth and I have a long history.
No, he's not talking about you. That guy, yeah, that's the same guy, yeah. That's the same guy who's stalking over and over and again.
Okay, good. Because Darth,
Hey,
I was
guys.
getting worried you were
Okay,
saying
Hitch, since you don't assert that God is the necessary precondition, then your living, breathing, speaking, and reasoning is deriving from something else that is ultimate. So then you're not neutral, are you?
Well, what's the problem with that?
Okay, you're not neutral, are you?
If you say so, then what's wrong with
Listen, dude. Stop with the deceit. Why is it that all of you atheists are such deceitful little dirtbags?
Wait,
you're not
me
neutral.
asking you a
Okay,
question
Listen to me, dude. You. Okay, goodbye. Get out of here. Okay. See, this is all we have. We have a steady stream of deceitful atheists. We cannot get any intelligent atheists in here.
Hey guys, there's a medium likelihood that I will be AFK for a couple of weeks going forward, because I might be helping out with Defense Production Act logistics.
How was that?
So you're gonna help Lockheed Martin make face masks, essentially.
Most likely, yes.
Okay, just so we're clear.
My company's not Lockheed Martin, but
I know that was an example, but
I'm gonna help out with the 3D printing.
All we get in here is a steady stream of idiotic, moronic, atheist teenagers who all they know how to do is just simply be argumentative. That's all they know how to do.
They may have an argument 2%.
Yeah, if you don't want to be banned, I suggest you stop trolling, okay? You're turning into one of those people. You didn't used to be this way, but you're becoming more and more like that, okay? You're evasive, you're deceptive, you're dishonest. You are not straightforward when I ask you simple and fair questions, okay? You open up your mouth and you verbally meander, and we don't know what the hell you're talking about. It bears no resemblance to the questions I ask you. So you're turning into a troll too. And if you keep this up, you're not going to be welcome here anymore. I welcome vigorous opposition and disagreement and debate, but I don't welcome stupidity and trolling.
Okay, can I just say something? I don't try to be a troll, to be honest.
I don't agree with you. I don't believe you. You're a liar.
No, look.
Do you have Asperger's syndrome?
I would ask you one thing.
Do you have Asperger's syndrome?
No.
Okay. Do you have any autistic tendencies?
Yes, I have dyscalculia. Or dyscalculia.
Yeah.
I can't.
What is that?
I have the version that other people who have who can't read properly. I have a problem with maths.
That doesn't address my question.
Well, no, you asked me what I had.
Okay,
That's
okay,
true.
Yanis,
That's a true.
Yanis, how is it that God doesn't exist? We'll try this one more time.
Please. You won't answer questions. Just leave me alone.
Okay, fuck off. You're a troll. Okay, yeah, he's not welcome here anymore. He's an absolute troll. I've had it with Yanis. Now, hey, Tonlock.
Yeah.
You realize now what a troll Yanis is?
What's he doing?
He keeps on trying to join the conversation, and then when we pose a question to him, he refuses to answer the question. And then when he doesn't refuse to answer a question, he doesn't answer the question by simply verbally meandering and not addressing the question at all. He's a troll, okay?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Did you see what I posted in Atheist Help channel? That tweet?
National Emergency Authority to order the Selective Reserve and certain members of the individual ready reserves of the armed forces to active duty.
That's not a good sign. That means that we're getting close to martial law.
That's not going to happen.
It doesn't mean it's going to lead to martial law. It just means Uncle Sam needs help pounding steel and sewing masks. That doesn't mean that tanks are going to be rolling down the street.
Or he might be giving in and